Hi everyone and welcome back to Vernon Solutions, the Learn HTML series using W3 Schools. We're at the end of the HTML basic elements part of the tutorial. We don't have any more try it yourself, but there is some interesting information down at the bottom here on how to view HTML source code and how to inspect an HTML element. So they both involve right-clicking. So if we right-click on the page and just select View Page Source, in other browsers it might say View Source or something like that, it's going to open up a new tab in the browser and it's just showing us the raw HTML that the browser received in order to view the web page we were just looking at. I'll start by pointing out that the first tag is a doc type declaration and the second tag is an HTML tag, although the HTML tag now has an attribute, in this case lang equals quote en-us end quote. I'm going to assume that's telling the browser that the language for this web page is English and it's the US variant of English. We have a head tag. We can't see an immediate closing head tag, as it turns out. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to scroll to the right there. If we scroll down to line 130 something, 133, we see the closing head tag. So there's a lot of stuff enclosed in the head tag, and that's not meant to display on the web page. We then have a body tag though, and we see lots of other tags that are unfamiliar here and some scripting, all kinds of stuff we haven't gotten into yet in the series, and probably will need the JavaScript series to understand the whole thing. We see a div tag we haven't gotten into yet. That'll be covered somewhere in HTML. If we come all the way down to the bottom though, we will see the closing body tag, the slash body, and of course the slash HTML. So it has the kind of structure we would expect. And then if I want to inspect a script, right, I can right click on that last final script and click inspect. The main point is that it opens yet another window on the right, and I do not claim to understand. I guess it's actually inspecting the entire thing here because it's highlighting the whole web page on the whole HTML code on the left. I'm not claiming to understand what's in here, just that it's a really interesting tool to see more of the details. So I'm going to close that out, and I'll just mention one last thing, which is when I was starting out several decades ago and just starting to learn HTML and what the web was all about, I had access to a server at work and a text editor. I would copy HTML source code. It wasn't nearly as complicated as this usually. And then I would just change the content without changing the tags, because the tags were showing me a web page that I thought was well organized and well laid out. And in fact, that was a valid way to do two things. One, I could create my own web pages more quickly because all the tags were sort of done. Of course, I had to find a web page that looked like the web page I wanted to create myself. But it was also a good way to learn how some of those tags worked, and I just started experimenting in my text editor. After I would copy the HTML and change to my own content, I would experiment with changing some of the tags. And I do think that that's a valid way to learn HTML. I just think that the HTML tutorial, the free ones, in particular the one that I'm reviewing now on W3 Schools, but lots of other free HTML tutorials, I think they're a little bit better way to learn and certainly to get started. And they're more complete because all I could learn were the tags that were in the pages that I happened to see. So that's going to close out our HTML basic examples, and we'll pick it up in the next video with HTML elements.